Good afternoon everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, it is my absolute pleasure to give you all a walk around and tour of one of the most legendary names to come out of Toyota. Today, let's do a walk around and tour of this absolutely stunning 2022 Toyota GR Supra A91-CF edition. The A91-CF edition is going to be a package that comes standard on this particular vehicle, as well as about 600 others because it was a limited production run. And as you can see, it does give you some nice goodies, such as your front splitter, as you can see here, in carbon fiber. You also get a rear splitter in carbon fiber. You get a carbon fiber spoiler, which is very nice. And on top of that, you do get a very nice interior, which we'll talk about in just a moment. Now, this one here is essentially a 3-liter inline 6 premium, which is going to give you a much more unique interior as far as tech is concerned, and the interior as well as far as the materials go for the seats. But overall, it is a really, really nice example of what the Toyota Supra should be. And yes, this is one here is not modified, which is pretty cool to see as well. With that being said, a huge thank you to Brandon Thomas Mitsubishi, which is a part of the Thomas Auto Group here in McKinney, Texas, for giving me some time with this awesome vehicle today. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get started. As you can see, this key fob might look a little weird because while it does say Toyota, it is in the shape of a BMW key fob, and that's because when Toyota announced that they would be bringing back the Supra, it is with a joint venture with the BMW Z4. So with that being said, while it may have the Toyota badges on here, do not be fooled, it is simply a BMW underneath. So as you look at the key, you're going to have your Toyota badge on this side, and then over here you're going to have all usual buttons, which includes your lock, unlock, your trunk release, and your panic alarm. But anyway, starting off here in the front of the vehicle, as you can see, you have a very unique look here to the vehicle. You have a very small grille down here as expected. However, you do have your Toyota badge right here. And like I mentioned, you do have the carbon fiber front splitter, which looks absolutely impressive and does give off an aggressive look. You also have front parking sensors on the Supra as well. As you can see, we are looking at your daytime LED running lights, as well as your xenon projector headlamps. Checking out your wheels and tires on this one, we are taking a look at a set of Michelin Pilot Super Sport tires, and you do have 19-inch wheels on this one. However, it's a little different because you do have fatter tires at the back. You're looking at 255 35R19s in the front, and 275 3519s in the rear, as you can see. So you're going to have a thicker thread wear versus what you do in the front in the rear. Coming over to the door, this vehicle does have a smart key access system, allowing for easy access to the exterior as well as the interior. By having the key fob in your pocket and come to the door handle, just put your hand right in here. There's a touch sensor inside. The vehicle will beep, letting you know the vehicle's unlocked, and the mirrors will fold out, allowing you to jump on inside. And when you're finished, close it up, tap the button right here, one beep will indicate locking, and the mirrors will fold back in. The exterior color of this one is finished off in absolute zero white with the Red Alcantara interior. Coming over to the door panels, you can see you're going to have some hard touch rubber plastic on top of here. However, you do have some softer material down here. You have your unlock and lock switches right here, followed by your aluminum door handle. You have your JBL speaker right here in the door jamb, followed by your power windows, your power mirrors, as well as your power mirror controls. You do have a very small map pocket, and you also have another speaker right here in the door jamb as well. Along that smart key access system, the GR Supra does come standard with push button ignition. But just keeping the key fob in your vehicle or within your person, just put your foot on the brake and hit the button to go. Very nice. The Toyota Supra does come standard with a fully leather-wrapped rack and pinion power steering wheel with controls to on the left as well as on the right sides. You also have aluminum finished paddle shifters on both the left as well as on the right too. Left is going to house all your cruise control settings as well as your safety features. And to the right, you're going to have a mode button, your plus and minus signs for your volume, hands-free phone, as well as your microphone here for your Bluetooth system. Now, coming up here, we're taking a look, of course, at a fully digital instrument cluster, and it does look very, very informative. To the far left, you're going to have your fuel gauge. To the right, you're going to have your coolant temperature. Right in the middle is going to be your tachometer, followed by your gear selector. Left is going to be your current speed, followed by your speed limiter. And to the right, you're going to have information for things such as your current time, exterior temperature, your trip A and B information, as well as your odometer reading. Now, there isn't really much to do on this screen because that's going to be over here with the iDrive system, but overall, it's still pretty nice to point this out. Coming over here, we're taking a look at a BMW iDrive 8.0 infotainment system, and as you can see, it is 8 inches in length, and it does look very, very nice to see. Now, what I like about the BMWs is that you do get them in sections as far as certain things or common things that you'll be using a lot of every day, and they include your media and radio, communication, connected services, navigation, my vehicle, as well as any notifications. So starting things off here with your media and radio, is going to show what's playing on the radio right here. You have your stations that you can select from, of course. You also have a favorites button here that you can save a favorite station to. You do have your navigation over here, as you can see, which is very nice to see. And of course, your source right up there, which has, of course, AM, FM, as well as Sirius XM satellite radio. Come back to our home page. We go to our communication. This is where you'll be able to connect your phone via the Bluetooth system. And in this case, when you do that, you'll get your things such as your contacts, recent calls. You can dial a number, manage mobile devices, Toyota Supra assistance, messages, as well as to personalize your menu. Come over here to your connected services. You'll be getting things like your weather forecast. As you can see, it's going to be pretty accurate and detailed, showing you what your weather forecast is going to be like over the next couple of days. And as you can see, currently we're on a little bit of a cooling trend, which is really nice. You also have your Toyota Supra Connect up here, which is a part of that connected drive system. And it includes things such as your Toyota Supra assistance, as I just talked about, but you also have messages, vehicle apps, and then you have weather, news, online search, wiki local, manage mobile devices, and stuff of that nature, as I discussed earlier. Coming over here, you do have your navigation. And as you can see, it is pretty nice to take a look at, because while it is not the newest version like what we see in newer BMW products, it is still a really nice looking system, and it's easy to use. Now, you do have some things over here as far as like notifications, your map, your compass. I believe this is where you can you enter your destination to where you want to go to, which is very nice to see. So overall, it's a pretty well detailed system, and the only thing I don't really like though is that you have two of them. So you have the main one here, and then you have the zoomed in one over here, which to me, I kind of don't really like it like that. I kind of wish it took up the entire screen, which I assume it does. And then over here, you have your navigation menu, which includes your route guidance, route itself, voice instructions, traffic information, map content, map views, as well as your interactive map. You have My Vehicle, which is going to give you your vehicle settings, system settings, contents and main menu, driver profiles, vehicle status, driving information, as well as sport displays. So this here basically is going to be a comprehensive list of things that you can go through as far as your settings, profiles, and things of that nature that you can check out on your own, so that way you can make adjustments and kind of make it to where you feel comfortable with it. So starting off with vehicle settings here, you have exterior lighting, doors and the key, Toyota Supra safety, steering wheel vibration, speed assistant, speed warning, driver attention control, parking, configure sport individual, which is your custom drive mode, climate functions, as well as vehicle tracking. Let's say we want to go to our Toyota Supra safety. You're going to have things such as your front collision warning, lane departure warning, as well as your blind spot monitoring system. You do also have your exterior lighting, which we'll go to that real quick. You can adjust the lighting system via you can turn on and off the daytime running lamps, and then you have welcome lights you can turn on or off, door handle lighting you can turn on or off, as well as pathway lighting you can turn that you can reduce or increase the time of that lighting there, as well as the one-touch turn signal, as you can see there. You can also adjust things for the doors and key. So you can adjust the driver's door, the tailgate, and then you have your doors and key functions down here. And then last thing we'll go through is your driver attention control. It says recommends brakes and displays choice of possible places to stop if driver shows signs of inattentiveness or fatigue. Pretty nice to see that. And that's pretty much the gist of the vehicle settings portion here in the GR Supra rather. Coming to system settings, this is where you'll be able to check on your mobile devices, wireless charging tray, which this vehicle has, language, touchpad, displays the date and time, units, tone, notifications, pop-ups, getting started, as well as your data privacy. Next up, let's go to your vehicle status. This is where we'll be seeing things for your tire pressure monitoring system, oil change, any warnings or anything like that, as you can see there. So as you can see, it's going to show us our tire pressure as well as the tire temperature. And of course, it's going to recommend your tire pressure for you as well. You can even show your oil change, as you can see there. It's going to say your oil and your engine oil level is okay. Pretty nice to see. You can check for any warnings, as you can see, no messages or any warnings to be aware of. And this right here is going to be for just general things that you'll be servicing your vehicle on. So your engine oil, vehicle check, and brake fluid, all of them are okay. It'll even tell you when your vehicle service is due, as well as what your miles as well as what your miles is going to be as far as what that interval is like. So this vehicle has just over 3,000 miles. So in 9,000 miles from now, so when this vehicle hits over 12,000, that is when it's going to need its next recommended service. Coming down to driving information, you have your onboard information as well as your trip computer. And then sport displays down here at the very bottom. You can see your power and torque, as you can see there, as well as your navigation. And let's say rev this up a little bit. It's going to show your power and torque right there, which is very cool. So overall, pretty cool to see as far as your system settings is concerned, as far as your sport displays, vehicle status, and all that stuff. So overall, really cool to see that information in the My Vehicle section here of the GR Supra. And as you can see, no notifications there. With that being said, that is going to conclude the infotainment system tour here in the almost call it a BMW, in the Toyota GR Supra. Now, with that being said, it does have the 8-speed automatic transmission. Put the vehicle into reverse. You do get a nice backup camera with guidance lines, and they do adjust as you turn the wheel. Now you do have your front and rear parking sensors on here, but you don't really have any other camera angles that you can check out, which is rather disappointing. But then again, you know, it's not a surprise. And of course, when you put it back into park, it's going to show the camera still. So just hit the home button and you're back to your main screen. Come below that, you do have your vents here. Come below that, you're going to have your volume knob here, different modes, your preset stations down here, your seat and track. Below that, of course, is going to be your climate control settings and functions. You have your heated seats for the front and front passenger, your dual zone climate control settings down here for your fan positioning on both sides, fan speed. This is going to be for your airflow there, recycling, and stuff of that nature. You do have a wireless charging pad down here that you can charge your phone on, or you can charge it via a USB port right there. 8-speed transmission, auto stop start function here. You can turn it on or off. You do have a dedicated sport mode right here, parking sensors right here, safety system right here, and this right here is going to be for your traction control off switch. You have your electronic parking brake there, and everything you want to control on the screen, besides it being a touchscreen, is going to be through this little knob right here, which is very easy to use. And of course, you do have some shortcut buttons here, which includes your media and communications, your menu, map, and your navigation. You have a back button here, as well as your option button, and all this finished off in carbon fiber just adds a nice touch to it, as you can see there. You do have two cup holders here. You don't really have an opening here for the glove compartment, so you'll have to make of what it has. Come over to the seats themselves. They're very nice and comfortable, and as you can see, they do look very, very impressive. I do like the Alcantara coming down the middle here, as it does add a nice touch, as well as the perforations coming down as well. As you can see, this being a Supra, you expect it to be one of the more comfortable seats in, you know, the segment here that competes with vehicles like the Nissan Z, and overall it does look really nice. Come over here to your glove box. You have a good amount of storage space inside. It is also dampened in line with felt. You do have some of that hard touch material on top of here, although you can see that stitching coming across. You do have your mirror right here, followed by your controls here for overhead lights, as well as your SOS or your roadside assistance. You do have a small little visor here with a small mirror, as well as a light. And come over here to the left, you're going to have controls here for your gauge dimmer switches, as well as for your headlight controls. So with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and continue the tour of the 2022 Toyota GR Supra A91-CF edition. Coming over to the back of the vehicle, as you can see, you do have LED taillights back here. You do have your Toyota badge right there, followed by your Supra badge, GR badge right down here, rear parking sensors, as well as your dual exhaust tips. So there's a button that I have to open up the trunk with. I can see it on the inside. It's not there, but you guys get the idea. Now, cargo space in here, if this was to be opened up, you're looking at just over 10 cubic feet of space, which is not too bad because it does open up a little bit higher. So you'll be able to store larger items in the vehicle without any issue. Under the hood of the Toyota Supra, we're taking a look at a 3-liter twin-scroll turbo inline 6. It produces 382 horsepower and 368 pound-feet of torque. It's going to be mated to that 8-speed automatic transmission. This one here is rear-wheel drive. And of course, 0 to 60 for this vehicle comes in at just over 3.7 seconds. This one, being the automatic, is going to be faster than if you go for the manual, whereas the manual comes in at just over 4 seconds, 0 to 60. Overall, very solid engine, and it's pretty cool to see. Alright guys, so back in the Toyota Supra, it is a very cool opportunity that I got a chance here to film this one today, and I enjoyed my time with it so far, and overall no complaints about it whatsoever. But the last thing we're going to go through is, of course, this vehicle's window sticker. It's a GR Supra A91-CF edition, finished off in absolute zero white with the Red Alcantara interior. And come over here, we have a MSRP without options at $63,280. This one does have the driver assist package, which includes your dynamic radar cruise control, your blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, parking sensors with emergency braking function. That's for $1,195. And then coming directly from the distributor or the factory, you do get the Toyota Guard Platinum, which is going to be a maintenance package, which is going to give you tool, oil, and filter changes at any Toyota dealer, roadside and rental car assistance, as well as an exterior paint sealant and interior protector for $699, and that is pretty much it. With a delivery processing and handling fee of $980. This one had a total of $65,455 overall options, and as you can see, with the destination fuel surcharge of or excuse me, the total distributor options of $699 plus the destination fuel surcharge and everything. The total for this vehicle came in at $66,154. Fuel, as you can see, your fuel economy comes in at 22 city, 30 highway, and 25 combined. And there is no rating here as of right now for the vehicle. But in conclusion, the Toyota Supra has been a legendary name to have lived here in the United States as well as around the world for over 40 years now. This past year was the 45th anniversary of the Supra, and they made a really cool version of this vehicle. But what I will say is that it's a lot of fun to check out, and I enjoyed my time with it immensely. So with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this walk around and tour of the 2022 Toyota GR Supra A91-CF edition. Finish off here at Absolute Zero White with the Red Alcantara interior. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you.